What's up, guys? This is Gabe. Today I've got Kent Hovind right here. He is going to speak on
the pulpit, the platform. Tonight we'll be talking about what on earth is about to happen, end times, according to what the Bible says. What's coming next? We'll see.
That's Kent Hovind. He's got his YouTube channel right here. You can click here, follow him. So much amazing stuff. Tonight I get to hear him live.
All right, this is Kent Hovind. We are at Bob Thompson's house in Princeton, Minnesota. Headed for the Princeton High School tonight to speak at the auditorium there. Last night we talked about information about creation versus evolution. Tonight we'll be talking about end times. What on earth is about to happen? Based on the book I wrote while I was in prison, federal prison. All the details are on Kent Hovind Official. You can watch the YouTube information there. Going to be interesting. So we got a bunch of Thompsons here. All right, let's roll.
What's up, guys? This is Gabe with the selfie stick. With me, I've got Joshua. Laura, how long have you known about Kent Hovind?
This is my first time hearing about it.
First time.
A couple months.
How did you hear about today's event?
This guy right here.
Have you ever seen Kent Hovind speak live before?
No, I haven't. Josh.
How long have you known about Kent Hovind?
A little over a year now.
How did you hear about Kent Hovind in the first place?
This guy right here.
Okay, this is a word of mouth train right here. But all right, so how did you hear about today's event?
I found it on 2 Peter 3, actually only about a week ago.
Joshua, how did you hear about tonight's event?
From this brother over here, he told me about it. Looked it up online. No.
Oh my goodness, this one right here? All right. They found it online. How long have you known about Kent Hovind?
13 years maybe.
Have you ever seen Kent Hovind live before?
No, I haven't.
First time seeing Kent Hovind live. Are you excited?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Setting a date for the Lord's coming, but I think we're about to see another war in Israel against all of their neighbors, and that's really heating up like today as we speak. This next war is probably going to end with a treaty that allows the Jews to rebuild their temple. I used to believe the rapture takes place at the beginning. I believed that for 40 years. I do not believe that anymore. I believe it takes place at the end of the 7th week in what's called the Day of Christ. Now, if you have anything other than a King James, you might want to look this one up, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, and see where they changed it. King James says, as that the day of Christ is at hand. Now, all new versions, even the New King James, have changed it to say the day of the Lord right there. Why would they change that? Because it doesn't fit their pre-trib theology. See, the day of Christ, Paul said, don't you listen to a letter that looks like it comes from us that says the day of Christ is at hand. Because they knew that was the rapture. He said, verse 3, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day of Christ shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and the man of sin be revealed. Well, now, when is the man of sin revealed? In the middle of the 7-year period. The day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. That's the key that starts the time of God's wrath. The day of the Lord starts when the sun and the moon go dark. Well, stay close to the Lord. Half the Bible's written from prison, and most of the people who went there did not have any advance warning. Joseph was going to deliver a message for his dad to his brothers, and all of a sudden they beat him up, throw him down in the pit, haul him out, sell him to slavery. He gets down there and becomes, he's in 13 years of his life. He had no way to prepare for that. I don't know that there is a way psychologically to prepare, except Jesus said right here, it's probably going to happen to you. When it happens, all the read what Paul did, they wouldn't have to rejoice. I tell you right now, that's tough to do from personal experience. But you will find it to be a blessed time in 1,000 ways. A time to get alone with God and to pray and to read the Word. I mean, I read more Bible probably during those 9 years than I did in the 20 years before that because my life was so busy. All of a sudden you got time. They're cooking supper for you. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about going around locking the doors at night. They'll do that for you. It was really different. It was hard to get used to at first, but I guess at some point you can kind of start to enjoy it. Like, wow, this is me and God time. It was. I don't want to do it again. But okay. Yes, sir.
I got a question I wanted to ask you last night. Do you think there's any truth to climate change?
I think if there's a difference between climate change and global warming, and there's also a difference of if there is climate change, is man causing it or is it just happening, okay? I don't think man is causing it unless it's the chemtrails that are spraying over, like we got sprayed today here in Minnesota. Type in chemtrails, Google that. There are certainly some morons who want to reduce the population of the planet to 500 million, and they think it's their duty to kill off most people who they don't think belong here. There are some real serious people in really high places that are working from 40 different ways to kill people. Chemtrails is one of them. Just Google that. Chemtrails. They're spraying aluminum oxide primarily. The story is to reflect sunlight to prevent global warming. The reality is they might reflect sunlight for 3 hours and then it gets down and poisons the crops for 20 years. We're going to see real serious rise in dementia, Alzheimer's, all kinds of mentally and nervous related diseases based on this aluminum oxide they're spraying into the sky, which ends up in our crops and ends up in animals. Certainly there are some real serious issues facing the world, but I think it's being done on purpose by some people to reduce the population. And all of the crying and screaming they do at the government level, oh, we got to do this to prevent global warming. And so I think that's all a hoax, absolute pure hoax in my humble, totally unbiased opinion. And I think it's just an excuse to get more government regulation so they can tell you what kind of light bulb you got to buy. I think it's really dumb.
So I found this fossil in North Dakota at my racetrack on a bunch of rocks, and I'm going to be giving it to Dr. Dino. I was up in North Dakota working on my go-kart track. I found this, and I wanted to give it to you when I found it.
Oh, it's like a type of ammonite. Yeah, no, I love it. Anyway, I love fossils, so thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
So we finally met the Dr. Dino, Kent Hovind himself. It was amazing.